All right, I'm going to lighten up the mood a little bit by talking about the flat Earth. I know, it's just way off the beaten path of what I usually speak about. However, it is such an intriguing conspiracy theory, a theory that you would think most people would assume is just patently false, yet it's like one of the most popular subjects on YouTube. Now, I've made a few videos about flat Earth, and they are poorly received because there's literally an army of flat Earth defenders that will basically threaten you with physical violence if you don't believe in flat Earth. So it's not going to be. This is not a video to question flat Earth or to impugn. To impugn upon flat Earth. But this is a nagging question. As a financial analyst and as someone who watches the financial markets very, very carefully, I can't help but wonder, what would Wall Street think about flat Earth? And I'm not being facetious here. I'm just asking a very honest question. How would Wall Street utilize the flat Earth conspiracy? The reason I'm asking this question is because there is no apparent monetary incentive to promote a worldwide conspiracy to support a spherical Earth model when in fact the Earth is flat. There's no monetary financial incentive to promote this conspiracy theory. It just absolutely makes no sense. Nobody's making any money off of promoting the idea of a spherical Earth and keeping millions of people, billions of people in the dark about the real truth. The Earth is flat. I mean, who would make money off of that? And I point to the airline industry as an example of why the flat Earth makes no sense whatsoever from a financial perspective. You'll notice that when you look at the airline industry broadly, that this has been a sector that has been hurting. And that's why you see a lot of consolidation among major airline carriers, because it's not profitable enough for multiple airliners to exist. That's why, you see this consolidation of multiple companies consolidating into one giant airliner so that they can pool their resources together and at the same time cut a lot of the overhead costs. Now let's take a look at the flat Earth map. This is the commonly accepted map of what flat Earth theorists believe the Earth really looks like. And I want to propose that I, from Los Angeles, want to fly to Sydney, Australia. This is a journey that covers approximately 7,500 miles. It takes about 13 hours to fly this distance. Okay, so 7,500 miles to go from Los Angeles to Sydney, Australia. Now let's say that I also want to take another international flight. This time, I want to go from Los Angeles to Tokyo, Japan. Now this flight covers 5,500 miles. Now wait a minute. This doesn't make a whole lot of sense here, because look at the discrepancy here. On the flat Earth, if the Earth is really flat, you see that the distance is 7,500 miles from LA to Sydney, Australia, but then it's 5,500 miles to go from Los Angeles to Tokyo. Yet it seems you see these two lines. It's a pretty dramatic difference. It has to be. This has to be less than 5,500 miles to go from LA to Tokyo. I mean, just look at it visually, okay? And also look at the fact that you're flying over a lot of land mass. You know, when you fly from Los Angeles to Tokyo, you're pretty much flying over the ocean until you get to your destination. Here, you're flying over you're flying over U.S. airspace for a good chunk of the journey. Flying over Alaska, and then you're flying over Russia, and then boom, you end up in Tokyo. I've flown this flight many times. I've never experienced any of that. So, what gives? You can't have. See, this is the Japan conundrum of the flat Earth model. Is you can't have LA to Sydney be 7,500 miles and then LA to Tokyo be 5,500 miles. Now, if the Earth was really flat, here's the thing: if the Earth was really flat, and we do a little math, we can determine that in the flat Earth model, the distance between LA to Tokyo would actually be 4,600 miles. That's a 16%, roughly a 16% savings on mileage. That amounts to roughly 2 hours of flight time that can be shaved. Okay? Now, if we assume that this journey from LA to Tokyo, let's just call it $36,000 of jet fuel that will be used to accommodate this flight. Okay, with a 16% savings, that's like roughly saving about $6,000 off of that $36,000 total. Because again, you're almost shaving 1,000 miles off of this trip. That means that if the Earth was really flat and there was this conspiracy, these airliners are flying an unnecessary 1,000 miles. They're just like deliberately flying this circular route instead of a direct route to Tokyo. Now, people will say, the conspiracy theorists would say that this is done, that all airline pilots are taught to not expose this conspiracy. There's a global conspiracy going on here, and it is incumbent upon every astronaut and airline pilot and fighter jet pilot and all people involved in flat Earth that they keep this flat Earth thing, this flat Earth fact, a secret. Okay, so you have to keep it a secret. Here's the problem with that. People usually aren't incentivized by a conspiracy theory. People usually aren't corrupted, can't be bought by a conspiracy theory. But people can be bought and people can be corrupted by money. Money is the ultimate corrupter, and everybody does have a price. You just rack up the price and eventually you'll find a price for every single human being on this planet. Everybody has a price. That's just the way human psychology works. Money is that ultimate corrupter. You would have to convince me, and you would have to convince Wall Street, that in this era of airliner consolidation, when airliners are struggling to make ends meet, struggling to find profitability, struggling to find top-line sales, you're going to have to convince me that all these Wall Street companies, because a lot of the airliners are publicly traded entities, that they believe that the conspiracy theory is much more important than the bottom line. I mean, you really have to think about this. I mean, let's say that, United Airlines, they are committed to the conspiracy theory, and Delta Airlines, they're committed to this conspiracy theories. All the major carriers are committed morally, I guess, to this conspiracy theory. Let's say you're a no-name airline carrier. Let's say you're JetBlue, okay? And you're struggling to make ends meet because you're JetBlue. And then, you're having this board of directors meeting, and you're kind of sitting around and you're strategizing. How can we compete against the big dogs in this industry? How can we compete? And then some guy comes up to you and says, hey, guys, I want to let you in on a little secret. The Earth is really flat. It's not spherical. And the only reason why the big airliners aren't taking advantage of this flat Earth fact is because they want to hold on to a vast conspiracy theory to convince everybody in the whole world that the earth is spherical, when in fact it is flat. They are committed to holding on to this conspiracy theory. I say that we screw the conspiracy theory and we take that 16% savings. We offer a flight directly from Los Angeles to Tokyo. And we not only undercut on the price tag, but we tell them that we will get you there 2 hours quicker than the other guys, than everybody else. Do you know how much of a revolution, a sales revolution, that would cause in the airlines industry? I mean, are you thinking about this? 2 hours shaved, 1,000 miles shaved, 16% savings on jet fuel cost. And mind you, this isn't an economy of scale. This isn't a 16% cost for each person. This is just, all you have to do is just break even. Find that break even point, and then it's pure profit from there. Because whether you're carrying one person or whether you're carrying 500 people, you would still have to pay that $36,000 of jet fuel. Well, now this is brilliant because now you get 16% savings. This isn't just 16% savings for one day or one flight. This is 16% savings for every flight between Japan and the United States. Every single day, you are accruing 16% savings off the top, baby. Off the top. This isn't savings based on weird tax protocols, where you take money from one account and then you shift it around to another account and then you shift around the time cycles and all that. No. You're taking 16% savings off the top. This is pure cash in your pocket. Do you know, with 16% savings on the economy of cost business, you can have crazy advertisements to promote your business. The top line of airline companies that decided to say, hey, screw this conspiracy theory, they would make a boatload of money. Just so much money. I mean, this is incredible amount of money that the airliners would accrue and save. I mean, JetBlue would jump to the very, very, very top of the airlines industry. And if other people don't follow suit, guess what? They'll go bankrupt because there's no way that anybody can survive against a 16% off the top savings. Get out of town. Get out of town, man. Come on. Who wouldn't take that? Name me one Wall Street company that wouldn't take that. And by the way, JetBlue is a Wall Street traded company. So who wouldn't take that? What entity, what corporate money-sucking entity wouldn't take 16%? You answer me that, and then we can talk about this flat earth nonsense.